Welcome back, YouTubers. Hey, just thought I'd show you a little redneck attachment that I had to put on the Mercedes, because if you left the battery hooked up, something is draining the battery in about 3 or 4 days. Especially if you don't start it, it'll drain it, easily in 3 or 4 days, to the point where it doesn't start. Now, that's not to say the battery's dead, because if the voltage goes below a certain level, the Mercedes just says nope, not going to do it. So anyway, I'll show you what I've done. It's pretty simple. Right underneath the dash down here, right there is a switch. Turn it off, no more power. Turn it on, everything powers up and comes to life. Now, I'll show you the business end out here under the hood. Oh, as soon as I can get out there to it, that is. Bear with me, guys. So, what we have right down in there is, and it looks like an old school Ford starter solenoid. But what this one is, it is a continuous duty 50 amp continuous 200 amp surge solenoid. And that solenoid is designed to be used with golf carts and other electric traction type vehicles. So you can have that thing turned on, all the time. And so while you're driving, it's fine. And then what I'm doing when I flip that switch under the dash is just disengaging, de-energizing this solenoid, which disconnects the ground cable. Ground cable hooks right there, comes from the battery, and so it just basically kills the ground. And I have let this car set for several months. Got in it, flipped the switch, everything powered up, and it started and drove fine. So I know that is fixing the issue, so to speak. It's not really solving the problem, but it's making the car drivable. This vehicle was $900 before it had this issue, and it doesn't owe me a dime. It's a backup vehicle. I don't drive it all the time, but in case one of my other vehicles, something happens to it, or it doesn't start or whatever, then I'll drive this one. And I drive this one more in the summer, because the other vehicle is an SUV, big third row seating and all that. It's hard to keep it cool in there in the summer when you get in it after work. And this vehicle here is just smaller, gets way better gas mileage. Now, if you do something like this, and I'm not telling you to go do this, I'm just showing you what I ended up doing. So, hey, do it at your own risk. But if you do something like this on a vehicle, the main issue that I have with this vehicle is sometimes the radio works and sometimes the radio doesn't. And it's just, whether the gremlins want to show me a little bit of favor on that trip. But anyway, guys, that's how I solved the problem with my 2002 C240 Mercedes of killing batteries. And I know there's going to be some guy that says, well, you need to trace down the blah, 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 blah. Yeah, dude, it's not going to happen. Okay, this car's never going to a Mercedes dealership, and I don't have the time, and I don't have the patience at this point in the game to search through 32 different computerized systems to find the one that's draining this battery. Not when a trip to town is 15 minutes one way. A trip out to the farm is 2.5, 3 minutes one way. Not gonna happen. If one day it just quits working, then fine, it'll get sold off for scrap parts, whatever. But it's paid for, and this keeps it going for now. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I know it's been a while since I posted anything. This whole Corona BS is, you know, cutting into everybody. But now that I've been temporarily furloughed indefinitely, maybe there'll be a few more videos. Talk to you later. Be safe out there. Okay, guys, there is one thing I forgot to mention. You don't have to kill your power on that switch under the dash every time you get out of the vehicle. I just drove this car to town earlier, went to several different stores, started up, you know, drove several different places, made a drop off. You don't have to kill the power every time you get out of the car. The goal is to keep the battery from being drained down long term. So you can leave that power switch on, everything functions like normal, your key fob, everything functions just like it should. But when you do decide to kill the power and everything, if you want to keep your doors locked, you can lock all the doors with your key fob, and then kill the power, shut your door, and when you come back to get in, you have to use your valet key, the little actual mechanical key that is in your key fob, to unlock your driver's door. Then you insert your key into the dash and then turn your power on. Now, if you use the central locking and you get back in the vehicle and turn the power on, the odds are your alarm is going to go off until you either turn the key on and start the ignition, or you push the unlock button on your key fob or the central unlocking. Reason is the computer last knew that the doors were all locked and then the power was disconnected, and it views that as a possible attempt to either steal the vehicle or break into the vehicle, and so it immediately sets the alarm off. So that is something to know that I forgot to mention. If you're not ever going to lock your doors, like you park in a garage or you just park it somewhere where you don't feel like you need to lock your doors, you'll never even notice the difference. Thanks for watching, guys.